Welcome to Bearded International Airport.
I said, all electronics out of your bag. The last time I checked, a laptop was electronic. Excuse me. You can't take a bow and arrow on an aeroplane. I don't care if your name's Robin Hood, you're not taking it on board. Whoa. You see that sign? Nothing over 100 mil. Do you think that's over 100 mil? Yeah, I do. I don't care if it's your favourite perfume. Rules are rules.
Airports are the only place that I will willingly surrender my toothpaste. But beyond confiscating my shampoo, airports serve a real purpose. They're there to protect us and to make sure that nothing dangerous gets onto an aeroplane. Now you might be thinking, have I got the right video here? I tuned in to watch a video about data protection in Microsoft 365. So what has airport security got to do with data protection in Microsoft 365? The answer is nothing. Nothing at all. But it's a great analogy, and I love an analogy. There are three technologies in Microsoft 365 that work together to help protect your data, and they work just like airport security. Shall we dig a little bit deeper? But before we do, just a quick intro. My name is Jonathan Edwards, also known as the Bearded 365 guy. I help businesses all over the world with their Microsoft 365. You can find more information at bearded365guy.com. So the first technology in Microsoft 365 are called sensitive information types. Now, let's get back to the airport. So an airport or an airline will decide what you can and what you can't take on an aeroplane. Things like liquids over 100 ml, sharp objects, weapons, they're all banned. Likewise, Microsoft has something called sensitive information types. You can decide what data can and can't get through airport security. You can decide what data is not allowed to leave your business. Now, Microsoft provides some built-in sensitive information types, things like credit card numbers and national insurance numbers. But you can create your own, bespoke to your business. So if you're a law firm, you might want to protect internal case files. If you're an accountancy, you might want to protect some payroll files or some business contracts. Let's take a closer look at sensitive information types. So I'm logged into my Microsoft 365 admin center of my test tenancy. Now, when it comes to data protection in Microsoft 365, it all really happens in Microsoft Purview. So here's the admin center there. We'll launch it. And you can see here, we've got lots of different solutions that help protect your data. And we are going to cover a number of these in the next few weeks. But for today, and in this section of the video, I'm talking about sensitive information types. Now, they live under data loss prevention. When we go into there, we go to classifiers, and we see here, look, sensitive information types. We've got a bunch of templates that Microsoft have created for us. So we've got things like Austrian passport numbers. We've got things like a Belgium driving license number. So we've got a lot of different templates that you can use. Now, these are handy to get going and they're handy to get started. But what I found when consulting on data loss prevention is that every business has different requirements. So what we do is we come in here and we create bespoke sensitive information types. So if I just click on there. Now, I'm going to create a video all about creating sensitive information types in the next few weeks, but I'll just take you through a few of the basics. First of all, you give it a name, then a description. So this is a sensitive information type to protect our internal case documents, okay? You click on next. Now we get onto this page here. This is the main part of creating our sensitive information type. We've got to create something called a pattern. So, well, what's a pattern? Well, you've got to remember that Microsoft 365 doesn't understand our data. So we might want to protect our internal case files. How does Microsoft know what information to look out for? How does Microsoft identify that it's an internal case file? And they do that by us creating patterns, okay? Now, as I said, I'm going to create a video all about this in a few weeks' time. But we can do things like give it a primary element. So we might say, well, all our internal case files will have this data on them. So if it's got this data on it, it's likely to be an internal case file. We can then talk about various different character proximities and some supporting elements as well. So we might say, well, the primary element, if it's got this internal case number on it, it's likely to be one of our internal documents. Plus, if it also includes this, it's much more likely to be one of the documents we're trying to protect. And again, that's where our confidence levels come in as well. And we can do some additional checks. So this is the hardest part, really. This is how to train Microsoft so it understands all of your data. So that's sensitive information types. I'm not going to go through this today, as I said, but I will do in a couple of weeks' time. But it just gives you a flavor of what sensitive information types are in Microsoft Purview. Now, the second technology in Microsoft 365 is called Data Loss Prevention, or DLP for short. Back to the airport. Where does DLP fit in? Well, DLP is the actual baggage scanner. DLP is scanning all of the bags, and if it spots something that's banned, maybe a weapon or a sharp object, it will raise an alarm. DLP works exactly the same way in your business. It's scanning all of the data that is leaving your business via emails and document sharing. If it spots a sensitive information type that you don't want to leave your business, it will block it and raise an alarm. Now, you achieve all of this by creating DLP policies. Let's take a look. So we're in Microsoft Purview, and I can go to Solutions, Data Loss Prevention. Okay. This is where we were before. So we looked at sensitive information types. This time we're going to look at policies. Now, let's pretend that our organization has decided that we want to protect credit card numbers. Okay. That is a sensitive information type we want to protect. So we've got to tell the airport baggage scanner that we're protecting credit card numbers. So we create a policy for that. Okay. Some templates here to get you started if you want. But in this instance, I'm going to go for custom policy. I'm going to click on Next. We give this a name, so something that's going to help identify it. Something like that. Give it a description. Okay, then click on Next. This is about admin units. Now, this is kind of out of the scope of this video. You need a Microsoft 365 E5 license for this, so we don't need to worry about it for now. Click on Next. Now, choose where we want to apply this policy. So, where is this scanner going to be working? Is it going to be working on emails, SharePoint sites, OneDrive accounts, Teams, devices, instances? It can work across all of these. To make this nice and simple, I'm just going to leave these Microsoft 365 services there. But it's worth noting, you can click on Edit, because at the moment the scope is everything. So, for example, we could exclude some SharePoint sites, we could target this policy at specific sites, likewise with Exchange email. So you can get really granular. Click on Next. And then we want to create or customize some advanced DLP rules. So now we've got to create a rule. We've got to tell it what to do. Okay, click on Create Rule. We give this a name, something like that. And then we look at conditions. So what conditions need to be met for this policy to be applied? Okay, add a condition. The content contains. So we can build out these in different groups, but as I said, I'm going to keep it nice and simple. So we're going to look at our sensitive information type. Okay, so just an example, I will type in here credit, and you can see we've got credit card number. So I will choose that. So the condition is that the content must contain a credit card number. Nice and simple. Okay, we then go down to actions. So what's going to happen when the DLP scanner finds a credit card? That's an action. So we click on here and we choose we want to restrict access or encrypt the content in Microsoft 365. Okay. So we're going to block users from receiving email containing this data, and we're blocking people outside our organization. Okay. So that looks good to me. We then look at some user notifications. So carry on scrolling down. Do we want to use notifications to inform our users? So if I'm sending a credit card number out, maybe I think it's part of my job to do that. Maybe I think I have to do that. Maybe I need educating. Okay, so I can switch that on. We can also customize our notifications. We can choose to notify other people. Okay, so the person who sent, shared, or modified the content. But what about if you've got an IT security officer? Maybe they need to know that someone is trying to share credit card information. We can look at policy tips, so we can customize the text. So we could put something like this in here. Okay, so that will be given to the user. Okay, we can look at user overrides if we want. Okay, so we can allow users to override the policy if we want. So maybe they need to, maybe it's a senior manager and they need to enter a business justification. Maybe it's a false positive. Maybe it's not a credit card number at all. Okay, so they're allowed to override it and say, no, DLP, you've got this wrong. So that's another thing you can do. We can do incident reports. So I recommend that you switch all these on. We can choose different severity levels, so it might be a high severity level, and we can send email alerts to different people in our organization. Okay, so that is how to create that bit. That's the advanced DLP rule. We click on next, and then we've got the policy mode. So it's a good idea if you're starting out with DLP policies to run it in simulation mode. Okay, so it will still allow the data to be sent out. So if someone sends a credit card number, it will allow it to be sent out, but there will be reporting on it that you can check, and the users will still get those policy tips. We can turn the policy on immediately, or we can just create this policy and leave it off. So that's the airport baggage scanner. That's our DLP policy, and it's monitoring sensitive information types. That's a credit card that we've identified in our business. Now, the third technology that works with data loss prevention and sensitive information types is called sensitivity labels. Now, back to the airport. Yes, your baggage gets scanned. It gets scanned for those prohibited items, but it also might get tagged. So it might get tagged with a priority label if you're traveling business class. Maybe a box might get tagged with fragile if it contains something that might break. Or it might get tagged with transfer if you're doing a transfer at a different airport. These tags help to identify the particular luggage, what we should do with them, what we shouldn't do with them. In our Microsoft 365 analogy, sensitivity labels work in the same way. You can tag different labels to emails and documents. These labels dictate who can access this data, if it's encrypted, if it can leave your business, all of these things. Let's look at an example. You might create a document that's highly confidential, so you might apply a sensitivity label to that document called, well, confidential. It will mean that that document is now encrypted. It will mean that only members of the executive team can actually open it. It will mean it has a watermark across it saying confidential. That tag will travel with that document wherever it goes, just like tags on luggage. Now, let's take a look at sensitivity labels in 365. Okay, so we're in Microsoft Purview. Where do we find sensitivity labels? Well, we go to Solutions and Information Protection. Okay, from there, we click on Sensitivity Labels, and we can create a label. Now, what I'm going to say at this point is this. If you look on my channel, I did a 26-minute video about the top 5 Microsoft 365 sensitivity labels to protect your business. Okay, so this is a great video to help you get started. Okay, but I will just take you through here. So we can create one called this, confidential. Okay, display name, we can set this as the same. We can put a description in for users. So what is the purpose of this label? Okay, we can give it a color. We can give it a description for admins. We click on next. Okay. And now onto the scope of the label. So where do we want this label to live? So we can look at file, other assets, emails, meetings in Outlook and Teams. We've also got groups and sites as well. Okay, so I'll leave it as it is and click on next. So what protection settings do we want to now apply for this label? Okay, so we can control access. We can maybe apply some content marking. Click on next. And this is the access control. So at this point, we can assign permissions now or let users decide. Okay, so say someone creates a Word document and they give it the confidential label. We can set it up in the admin backend here that only certain people have permissions over that document. Okay, and we can go in here and we can assign permissions. For this example, I will just add our users in the organization. However, you would probably do it on groups, etc. We can choose the type of permissions they have. So what can they do with that? Okay, I'll just leave it at that for simplicity. Or the other option is just to let users decide. So when they assign the label, they can decide what permissions are granted. And what about user access to content expiring? So again, if this is a confidential bit of information, we can say, actually, this content, the access to this content will expire on a specific date. Okay, another option. Another option here, available offline. Okay, so it's available when someone doesn't have an internet connection or anything like that. We can set it so people have to re-authenticate. Okay, so they have to enter their Microsoft 365 username and passwords. So you've got a lot of options here for this sensitivity label. Okay, click on next, and then we can mark it. Okay, we can add a watermark on this data. So we can say something like that. Okay, add a header, add a footer, do all those types of things. Want some footer text there? I'll just turn the footer off. And then we're on to auto labeling. I'm not going to go too much into that today, but this is a little bit like DLP. So we can auto label certain documents. So for example, going back to our credit card example, we could auto label a Word document with the credit card information as confidential. Okay, so the auto labeling will look at the document based on how we set it up, and it can auto label. Now you might be thinking, well, is sensitivity labels and data loss prevention, are they kind of the same thing? They are similar, but I think they're complementary. So with sensitivity labels, there's a focus on classifying and protecting your content. Okay, data loss prevention, it focuses more on monitoring and preventing unauthorized sharing of that content. So they work together really well. Think of them like brother and sister, but they have similarities, but there are some differences. Okay, click on next. We've got some additional options here for this, for groups and sites. I'll click on next, and that will create my label. So I'll go ahead and create that label now. Okay, that's been created. We now publish that. Choose our label. Okay, that's our confidential label. And it's where we're publishing this to. So admin units, we're not bothered about. This is all users and groups, okay? We've got some settings here, so we can make it so users have to provide a justification to remove labels. We can require users to apply a label to all their emails and documents. That's a good one to have on. And we've got a couple of other things there. Click on there. Default settings again, we can apply a default label, so we can set this as default. I won't do in this case because this is confidential, but you might do that with a few other labels that you create. We'll just kind of leave these the same. Happy to go through all those. This is our policy. We will click on next and we will submit that. So there you have it. There's 3 tools in Microsoft 365 that work together to protect your data, just like airport security. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Look forward to seeing you again soon.